Hello, welcome back. Today we talk about 8 new wonderful releases we have from Analogue production, acoustic sounds, and they are really quite something in this case. And we start with an iconic box set, which I would have never thought to have it on my record shelf, because it was, I think, the very first record, the very first box set Analogue production did, and it's gone for decades now. Talking about the Miles Davis Quintet box set. Yet here it is. It's a bit like with the Creedence Clearwater box set. I would never have expected that to be back, at least for a short period of time. And what we have in that box set is 5 prestige recordings of the Miles Davis Quintet. We have the already known Steamin', Cookin', and Relaxin'. But within the box set, we have 2 releases that we did not have seen on the Prestige series. We have Prestige LPs 7014 Miles from 1956, and we have the iconic and beautiful Workin' from 1960. You know, Miles Davis owned Prestige 4 recordings before he can go to Columbia, and so he played within a very short period of time. He played those 4 records, mostly standards, and yeah, all of them are iconic releases. And to have them now back in that box set here with that little brochure, with that booklet, where you have photos and information, is for a collector, of course, something very, very unexpected and very, very welcomed. You know, if you are interested, go to Discogs, for example, and look up the prices this box set has been sold for, then you know at least one of the reasons why this box set is so special to have back, at least for a shorter period of time, as long as it's there. So that's really, really quite something to have that one back again. But what's also new and quite something is that the first 2 releases of the Living Stereo series has arrived. Chet announced a couple of days ago, he announced 25 titles out of the Living Stereo series, and the first 2 releases are here now. And now I can impress you with perfect German, because the first one is Richard Strauss, Also Sprach Zarathustra, conducted by Fritz Reiner and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Luckily, we get those as 45 RPM versions. Luckily, because these 2, at least these 2, the first 2 releases, have a dynamic range that is not from this world. It blew me out of my living room. It is breathtaking. Breathtaking. Of course, most of you do know Also Sprach Zarathustra since Stanley Kubrick's Odyssey and science fiction movie. We know that, and this is such an amazing release and an amazing recording of Also Sprach Zarathustra. The whole Living Stereo series is very, 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 very highly regarded by classical collectors, and of course rightfully so. This recording is from 1960, and in my opinion, this is the time for classical music. They had so much courage for beauty. This is such a beautiful performance of this. Wow, wow. Highly, highly, highly recommended for everybody who is a little bit into classical music. Really try this one out. It's amazing, really amazing. I don't know if I have shown that to you. Of course, it comes as a gatefold in this wonderful anti-scuff, and then you have a painting and a photo of Fritz Reiner. This is special. Not less special is the second one. It's Charles Munck with the Boston Symphony Orchestra, and we have Ravel here, Daphnis and Chloe, again in this wonderful cover, gatefold, 45 RPM version. Yeah, the backside, 1961 recording, and again breathtaking in its beauty, perfection and dynamic range, and there is so much air going through your listening room. It's fantastic. So this is such an amazing start of this series that I really can't wait for it to go on. So these two are the perfect start for this wonderful series. And yeah, let's see how this goes on. They set the level high. They set a very, very high standard with these two. Let's see how it's going on. A little break, in a way. We are 40, 60, 66 years later. And we have Caelan Cardello, Chapter 1. This record is is produced by Michael Fremmer. It's the second record, to my knowledge, that he has done. And yeah, that's a big surprise. A friend of mine called me and said, "Have you listened to it yet?" And I said, "No, not yet." He said, do it, and you'll be surprised. And yeah, I am surprised. This Caelan Cardello knows what to do on the piano. Really beautiful, uplifting, modern piano jazz. Highly recommended. Listen to it, try it. You might be as surprised as me. Well done, Mr. Fremmer, once more. Well done. Okay, back to the 60s. Gene Ammons, Chet Baker. Again, a couple of days ago, Chet announced 10 titles from his iconic fantasy series, where he put out over 100 titles as 45 RPMs. And the first two of the 10 arrived. The first one we have here is Gene Ammons, Blue Jean. Look at that beautiful cover. Show you. Came originally out on the Prestige label. And yeah, I mean, we all know boss tenor, right? Gene Ammons and his all-stars. We have Idris Suleiman on the trumpet, Pepper Adams on the baritone saxophone, Mel Weldrum on the piano, Arthur Taylor on the drums, Doug Watkins on bass, and Ray Barretto on the conga. The recording is from 1958 and is a straight, perfect, wonderful jazz records we all want and know from Gene Ammons. Brilliant, wonderful record. So happy that this one is out there too now. Highly recommended. The second one is Chet Baker. Chet Baker in New York. Also quite early one, 1958. Iconic cover art, right? And yeah, from the very first second we get that crystal clear, powerful, straight trumpet we want from Chet Baker. You get it here from the very first second. That's really amazing until the last song. That's really, really, really cool. Both records sound amazing, really, really amazing. And the personnel here next to Chet Baker is Johnny Griffin on the tenor sax, Al Haig on the piano, Paul Chambers on the bass, Philly Joe Jones on the drums. Fantastic. A fantastic recording, and You know, when you look at the photos in the inner sleeves, don't laugh at me, but somehow this guy reminds me on a famous actor that died very, very young. Somehow he's a little bit the James Dean of jazz, although he didn't die young, but reminds me on James Dean. And yeah, that is a brilliant, brilliant recording by Chet Baker. Fantastic. What we now have are two chess records. Let's start from the chess series that Chet Caelan announced a couple of months ago. We already have seen the wonderful Howling Wolf and the wonderful Best of Muddy Waters in the series, and now we have Etta James at last. Stereo, stereo, stereo. Yeah, you have to say that because this is a 1960 recording, and in a way it's a little comeback album of her, as she had a big success in 55, now 60, that is considered to be a little comeback. And what a comeback. I really do appreciate her powerful, really powerful way of singing. Really cool, really nice album. You can very different if you compare it to other female vocalists at the time. So she really hits it, really hits it. I really do love it. Very interesting, very beautiful recording from Etta James at last. Have I shown the inside, the photos of her? If not, here it is again. The second one in the chess series that came out these days really, really, really hit me and surprised me. A big surprise. I would not have expected that. Chuck Berry. Berry is on top. 1959 mono-aural recording. Gatefold jacket. Wonderful. This photo is a wonderful photo of his, my opinion. And damn, what kind of sounds and rhythms this Chuck Berry gets out of his guitar. That's fantastic. You know, this is not an audiophile super highlight where you say, oh my God, no. But this record has so much power, and the sounds he creates with his guitar, that's amazing, amazing. What a fantastic record. Rock and roll at its very, very, very best, a top recording. I'm so happy that we also get those kind of recordings, and not only the very polished one, you know what I mean, nothing wrong with that. But Chuck Berry is on top, is brilliant. It's a fantastic recording. You have a lot of songs, all of them are 2 minutes, 2:20, 2:30. Roll Over Beethoven, Johnny Be Good. Crazy. This is a crazy record that, and I don't say that often, but that record, in whatever way, in whatever form, belongs into every record collection. This is history. This is history. Wonderful. Big, big surprise. I totally dig it. I totally love it. Chuck Berry is on top. An absolute highlight. Not an audiophile highlight in the sense of you haven't heard a record that sounds so good. It does sound amazing, don't get me wrong, due to the fact that he creates very specific and very special sounds on that one. So try that one out. It's brilliant. It's really, really brilliant. Yeah, 8 recordings in a very, very short period of time. And if you watch Analogue Productions or Chet Caelan's video closely, it's going on like that. So he keeps them coming now, highlight after highlight after highlight. Can't wait for them. The next ones are on their way to Germany. So really, really special time. I think 2026 will be brilliant, brilliant. Thank you for your time and see you on the next one. Bye.